Well, it's time to play. And today, what we want to do is show you how we're going to start handling the logistics in the Gigafactory. Because one of the major problems we wanted to solve in the Mega Factory was simply the fact that we ran out of space to run product from one place to the other. When you run out of space like that, you struggle every single time you need to put in a new line of something that's more advanced. So what we got is, we got toward the end game, tier 8, tier 9, and we found that we were struggling to make those end products, not because it was hard to do technologically, but it was hard to get the components that we needed to the places that we needed them. And then once we got them there, making sure they were in the right quantities. We were forever fighting the fact that we couldn't get them going to the right place at the right time in the right quantities. So what we wanted to solve in the Gigafactory was providing plenty of space. Now, we've done that partially by clustering the conveyors and the lifts together and putting them in a common location so that we could link into them. Now, we've also made some rules as far as when we're going north-south in the factory, we're going to be on the floor of the logistics floor. And then when we're going east-west, we're going to be attaching it to the ceiling going east-west, so that the east-west and north-south conveyors don't conflict and have easy paths to get to and from where they need to go. So on and on, we keep on working to make sure that everything stays efficient. Now, what I want to do is show you how that works in real life. We see the trains here loading and unloading as I've been talking, and this first area here is our iron station, where we've got 2 train stations picking up the iron from the Iron Dome in particular. Okay, so the Iron Dome fills up 2 sets of trains quite adequately, and we have 2 train stations to open it up. The product then goes down through the floor, and you saw me build this in a previous video, where we just unload from the ports here. We unload both of the ports, and notice these are actively unloading now from the last load that was dumped here. Now, where does it go after that? Well, then there's the next train coming in to fill her up again. So, and where does it go? Well, it has to go somewhere, and that somewhere ends up being this bus right here with the iron ingots going up to the next floor. This one for the left train station, and that one for the right train station. Okay, so let's head on over here and go up and see what that looks like on our logistics floor. Now, the first gap we have here is for Garrett to run people around, so you see a lot of hypertubes here. But the second floor here is where we're running the conveyors and lifts up to. Now, where we're using the first batch of ingots is in a plate factory. Now, the plate factory, as you can see, will go quite a ways. Now, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet so Robert can accelerate this part of the film, but you'll be able to see the conveyor stretching the whole length of the factory to the opposite corner. Okay, so what you just saw was the east-west conveyor going on the ceiling, and now we're going to turn and go on the north-south direction, and it's going to be on the floor. All right, so here we're to our destination. This particular lift goes up to the store, and this particular lift goes down from the store. And you saw how I did a feature on building stores in a short, and so let's go show how that works in real life. So the store here we have, and we have it powered with 1200 iron ingots. The output is 800 iron ingots. And so we come over to the other side of the store. The input port is there, and the output port is over here. Now, where's that output port going? Well, that output port, if we continue following that one, is going to go back to our logistics floor. That output port goes to this section of lifts that going down, And that is actually going to be going to the store. And the store is going to have several sections. The left section over there is things unlocked with a man. The section to the right here is the things unlocked in tier 1 through 6. And you can see our iron plates are right there. And you can see it's probably full, is probably why it's all stopped. So that is full, and the depot is completely full. So therefore we have plenty of iron plate to use, and we're ready to go to the next step. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and actively start building out on the next floor up and building the other factories that we want to build, because we want to build reinforced iron plate, which of course at this point I don't have a recipe that avoids screws at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and place another store here, and this next store is going to have, I'm going to go to the blueprints here and let's see if I already have a blueprint. I do have a blueprint for reinforced iron plate. I don't have one yet for screws. So to solve that problem, I just go outside and I modify the iron plate store or the iron rod store to make screws. So in the essence of time, I'm going to go ahead and create an iron rod store first then. Doesn't look like I'll have enough room to put another whole store over here, but we'll figure out how to use that space effectively. So this store here then, it's an iron rod store. Ingot input in this case is 600, output is 600. So it looks like we need really to have 2 stores here. We're going to go ahead and build a second one. I think I can snake a conveyor down the side here and go ahead and build a second store right here. Let's go look and get a second rod store here. And so we'll see. All right, and that looks lined up, and that looks lined up, so let's drop it right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put a conveyor lift port over here, and conveyor lift there. Beautiful. Okay, incoming there. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Okay, so let's go get this this lift hooked up here. So I'm actually going to go down the hole here. Go down to my logistics floor here. And so what I need to do now is I need to go to the other corner of the store, other corner of the building, and pick up another line of iron ingots.
I actually have a bit of progress to help you with that.
Okay.
I have a 6-lane bus heading east-west from F6 to A6.
F6 to A6 already? Okay.
So if you go down to A6, you will find a bunch of lines for you.
Okay, so I'm headed over to, I think, A6. I still am a little bit directionally challenged because not everything is labeled yet.
Yes.
The labeling's such a long and tedious job.
Okay, so you said you brought a bus over this far? Okay.
And they should all be filling up now.
Yeah, they're all full.
So the second one from the right is the one you should be connecting up to what you're currently doing.
All right. Okay, maybe click there and get it to turn that way. Okay.
Nice.
Now it's feeding 2 rod stores, and now I just need to power up 2 rod stores. Then I need to hit the output for the 2 rod stores. You want to help me with the output ports? That would be wonderful.
Sure.
All right, so now I've modified the iron plate store to be a screw store now. And so what I want to do is go ahead and place that screw store here. And I kind of want to line it up with this one and this one. So let's pull up that blueprint. And in the Gigafactory here, scroll down, it should be a screw store right there. And we should be able to put it close by. I'm going to hit the H button to nudge it in place. Click. Okay. And that store is now connected. Now we just need to bring another ingot line. Boom. And put a conveyor lift right there. And now we need to go downstairs. Yeah, it would be right lined up with that one. So let's just bring that to that far. Then okay, there it is.
There we
and
have
it's working.
Screws.
All right, it's a bit screwy now.
Perfect. We've been waiting for a long time for this moment.
All right, and it's going into the mall?
Yeah. We want to go take a look at the mall and see what we have so far?
Yeah, let's do that. Because now we have screws that should be all connected to the mall, so let's go take a look. All right. According to your chart, screws should be right above. So iron ingot is real iron ingot. I mean, it's really there. It's really there. And rods are really there. And we're seeing screws bypass. And if the dimensional depot is full, why am I seeing it just flashing?
Well, each depot has a single
There it
space
goes.
for storage.
Yep.
So
there
it has to
goes.
fill up that single space.
Single stack.
Yeah.
Okay, it's filling up. It's filling up. Okay, so we were able to get iron rods, iron ingots, plates, and screws into the depot. We only used one of our blocks, and the next thing to do is to start building up from there to build reinforced iron plates, and eventually we're working towards another line for frames, heavy modular frames, then heavy modular frames, and building up through all that frame line. And it's just a matter of plunking down each one of the stores, making a new one, configuring a new one as we go, and go from there. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you would, and subscribe if you haven't already, and consider becoming a member and joining our Discord community, as we're helping each other to increase the ability to build and enjoy seeing one another's builds by posting pictures. So, you know, we have fun there too. So consider joining. And so we'll look forward to seeing you again later. Thanks.